Imagine a trusted doctor, a pillar of the community, who secretly harbors a dark and deadly secret. Dr. Harold Shipman, a name now synonymous with horror, was responsible for one of the most chilling series of murders in modern history. How did this healer become a harbinger of death? Join us as we unravel the terrifying tale of Dr. Death. Prepare yourself for a journey into the macabre. For over 2 decades, Dr. Harold Shipman was a beloved figure in his community. He was the doctor who made house calls, who comforted the sick, who held grieving hands. Families relied on him. Patients adored him. He was everything a doctor should be. But behind closed doors, Shipman wasn't saving lives. He was taking them. It started quietly. An elderly woman, seemingly fine, suddenly passed away. Then another. And another. There was no reason to be suspicious. After all, they were old, and people die. But the deaths kept coming, all under his care. And no one thought to ask why. Shipman's method was simple: a lethal dose of medical-grade heroin, a falsified medical record, and a signed death certificate. No struggle, no forced entry, no suspicion. He was the last person they ever saw, the last voice they ever heard. And he walked away every time, free, untouchable, unstoppable. But no killer is invincible. In 1998, the family of Kathleen Grundy, an 81-year-old woman in perfect health, grew suspicious. She had left behind a will, one that mysteriously excluded her own children and left everything to one man, Dr. Harold Shipman. Police exhumed her body. The results? Alarming. A massive dose of diamorphine was found in her system. She hadn't died naturally. She had been murdered. And then, the horrifying truth unraveled. Kathleen Grundy wasn't his first victim, nor his 10th, nor his 50th. By the time the investigation ended, Shipman was suspected of killing over 250 people, making him one of the most prolific serial killers in history. In 2000, he was convicted of 15 murders and sentenced to life in prison. But the real number of lives he stole, we may never know. Then in 2004, before justice could truly be served, Harold Shipman took the coward's way out. He was found dead in his cell, an apparent suicide. No remorse, no confession, no closure for the hundreds of grieving families left behind. A doctor sworn to heal became a monster who killed. How did he get away with it for so long? How many more victims were never discovered? And the most terrifying question of all, could it happen again? Not all killers lurk in the shadows. Some wear white coats.